Nigel Farage warns of major concessions in Brexit deal which will anger Brexiteers. Nigel Farage has warned of major concessions made by Boris Johnson in his post-Brexit trade deal with the European Union. The Brexit Party leader insisted the agreement is not what he campaigned for or what won the Prime Minister his landslide victory in the 2019 general election. He highlighted areas he believes Mr. Johnson and his chief negotiator Lord Frost caved into Brussels on, and branded the fishing terms rotten. Writing in the Daily Mail, Mr. Farage said, "I am sorry to say that for all the tough talk of Mr. Johnson and his chief negotiator, Lord Frost, some major concessions have been made. Northern Ireland has been cut off from the rest of the UK, the European human rights regime will remain in place here, our coastal communities have been saddled with a rotten fishing deal, and EU firms will still be allowed to tender for UK government contracts. In regulatory terms, the EU will hold a sword of Damocles over Britain with the threat of immediate tariffs if they judge that Britain is being too competitive. This is not what I campaigned for and it most certainly is not what Boris Johnson's supporters voted for in the 2019 general election. These handicaps will not allow Britain to transform itself into the Singapore-style entity in a European time zone that it could become." Mr. Farage's remarks come after the Prime Minister sealed his deal with the EU on Christmas Eve after months of negotiations. The 1,246-page document was published on the morning of Boxing Day. Speaking after the deal was announced on Thursday, Mr. Farage told Talk Radio, Boris Johnson and Michael Gove were the two senior Conservative politicians who, when the referendum came, albeit late in the day but that's not the point, had the guts to back Brexit, and thank goodness they did. So yes, Boris will be seen as the man that finished the job, perhaps not perfectly. He has done what he said he would do on the big picture. I suspect on some of the detail, such as well be back in charge of our fisheries, history may judge some of those aspects a little more harshly. But on the big stuff the war is over. It has gone on for decades in this country. From the Maastricht Rebellion onwards, it has never, ever gone away. The fight over whether we should be part of the European structures or not. And now we are out and arguably with a new treaty that is a bit closer to a partnership agreement.